So we're sitting here with Wendy Lalli. Wendy, you are the marketing guru here, trying to make EastGate even cooler than it is today, right?
Well, thank you for putting it that way. I came in here in May. I moved across the street and I walked in and I just fell in love. And so I've been trying to introduce my love to everyone else in Oak Park and beyond. And it's a total joy. I enjoy every single second of it.
Well, and you're right, it is a gem, and I've heard that description from a lot of people who've come in here, both performers and audience, discovering this as, wow, what a cool place.
Right.
And so the trick is, though, to get lots of people to know, because even a regular audience comes back once a month, once every other month, but you want to fill it every weekend.
Right.
Right.
Right. I describe it as you can't take it with you meets Harry Potter. It's just eccentric, eclectic, and totally charming. And for me, it's like an enchanted cottage or something. I really am just in love with it.
You've only been here in this area, though, just for a few months, right?
Well, I lived in Oak Park 20 years, and then my son went to UIC, and we moved into the city to make that a little easier, commute easier for him. But we missed Oak Park so much that we decided to move back. And we discovered this little place across the street, and we just feel like we've
kind of come home, right?
Yeah, we've come home. And I feel like I'm 24 again, living in Greenwich Village, actually.
As you think about marketing this, what's the story you want to tell? Because every marketing campaign has to have a story, right?
Right.
So what is that story that you're developing?
Well, the EastGate grew up from many different things. I mean, it was books and gifts when it started out, and then I read descriptions of it on the website because I'm busy rewriting the website, and it talks about it like a sandwich shop, and it's not that at all.
Yeah.
And what it's evolved into, I think, as a performing arts center of Oak Park. The music is absolutely outstanding. Not just the jam session my husband runs, but also the other performers who come in they're just wonderful. The thing that breaks my heart is that this place isn't full every night, not so much even for the restaurant as for the people that are not hearing this terrific music.
Yeah.
And then we have the storytelling, which is very popular.
As we saw tonight,
right.
A jammed house.
Out of the fray of the horrible humanity that was crowding in. Bah, humbug. And then there was this woman, this young girl. She was maybe about 10 feet away from me, and all of a sudden I heard ring, and then she started to sing, ring Christmas bells. And then there was this other girl, this blonde girl in a blue sweater right over there, and she joined in, merrily ring. Then there was a guy over there, on the other side of the carousel. He joined in, ring Christmas bells. And somebody behind me, merrily ring. And then people kept coming forward, joining in and singing. Ring, Christmas bells, merrily ring, tell all the world Jesus is King. More and more. I looked around, I go, who's going to start singing next? Who's going to start? Who here? Who's going to start singing? They kept coming forward, and they had beautiful voices, sopranos and altos and tenors and basses, and it was 4-part harmony, and I could hear them perfectly, and they had totally enclosed the 2 baggage carousels, and they were singing this beautiful, beautiful song. It was just like, oh my God, I just got flash mobbed. I just got flash mobbed. I just got blessed by this random act of beauty.
And then we have the G's who appear here once a month and do a wonderful comedy act.
The G's, that's Val and Jeff, the
Right.
couple, right?
Exactly. And
Who argue and bicker on stage and in a very entertaining way, right?
I describe them as Lucy and Desi meet Monty Python because they're just, well, you saw, they're just wonderful. And they run an open comedy mic
Open
night,
mic, yeah.
which means that other new performers can have a chance at getting in front of an audience here at the Eastgate. And I hope more will take advantage of it.
Not the first. Oh, please. Oh, sorry.
No.
Hello.
That's what you get. Look at this. There's far too many people in here. Can you all eat? Yeah. Okay, good. So as long as we're drinking, that's the main thing. So we are talking about anybody been to Egypt? No. Oh, it's not really the group you wanted to talk about.
Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
That's there. You're there.
There's another person I don't like.
Is there anybody you do like?
Oh, please. So, we are, come closer, my darling.
Okay.
50 years of doing this. Oh. More than a life sentence. So, every time I say
This is an arts district. And you have
Yes,
a
the
lot
Harrison
of,
Street Arts
right,
District,
you have a
right.
lot of visual artists and galleries here. But the performing arts you cannot do without an audience.
Yes, that's true.
And jazz, you really need other performers to interact with. You know, you can practice at home for 4 hours, but it's not the same thing as actually playing with other musicians.
As a jazz musician myself, yes, I'll second that. That
Right.
you need to be able to interact with other musicians in
Exactly.
a performance space. It's even in rehearsal, as much as I like it, it's not the same thing as playing for an audience because that energy goes back and forth,
Right.
and that's what feeds the musicians, feeds back to the audience, and builds this positive feedback loop.
So those are the things that we're trying to encourage and support and expand on. And the other thing that I do on Tuesday night, I've been a career coach for the last 20 years, and I run a networking group here. And I started that actually because of all the business development on Harrison Street. And my thought was to invite all these entrepreneurs in to meet each other. And actually, that has happened, but it has expanded to beyond Harrison Street. So one of the things that I'm thinking of doing with that is running workshops for small businesses on how to use different software programs to market themselves. And we'll be...
And you'll run those programs here out of this
Right,
space.
and we'll be doing that starting in probably February.
So
yeah.
truly a multifunctional space.
It is,
Right?
it is. And it's all about communication and interacting with each other and
it's a whole different experience. I think there's some of the magic of it comes from the fact that we're kind of crowded. It's cozy here. It's a sweet
is
little
cozy.
homey, cozy place. And we're maybe a little too close together, and that makes sure that there's no way you can't know your neighbor. people get to know each other because you can't help it because you're so close together. And I really think of like Eastgate as one of the members of this group because I think just the atmosphere helps make it what it is.
I think that's a great way to phrase it, that the place itself is a member of the group, right? Because you couldn't get the
It would be
ambiance that
different.
you get.
It would be different.
Making the most of this wonderful space because, as people have commented on, it's I don't know what it is about this place, but it is a magical space.
Yeah, the word I hear most often is a gem, right? It's a little
right,
gem
right.
that's kind of, and everyone has the sense that they've discovered this gem, you know, that oh,
Exactly,
wow, it's almost,
yeah.
it's like it's hidden away, but they get there and think, gee, how come I didn't know about this before?
That's where I get the Harry Potter thing. It's like when Harry goes on the railroad and
yeah,
suddenly there's this
other
train,
world,
right?
yes.
And that's how I feel about this place.
Yeah, you walk by and you think, oh, it's an apartment building, and then you come in and it's like, oh no, it's this magical space.
Right, right. One of the things I'd like to do too is encourage, there's writers groups in Oak Park, and I'd like to encourage them to have book signings and book readings here, and then to carry their unpublished books, because one of the problems when you're a self-published author, I should say unpublished, self-published, is finding a place to actually sell your work. So we hope to be able to do that as well. So that's my next,
That's the next
my
step.
next project, yeah.
Right. All right. Well, Wendy, thanks so much for sitting with us.
Thank
really appreciate
you.
it. And we all wish everyone here the best of luck because we all agree it's a wonderful space and you're on the forefront of trying to make it even better. So
Well,
thank you so much.
I'm delighted that you came and we've had this opportunity to talk about the Eastgate.
There you go. Thanks so much.
Thank you.